Hi, I'm Kate Gasperi. I'm from Illinois and I'm currently a freshman history major at Waldorf University. This semester I got wrapped up in the Victorian era's curiosity with Egyptian mummies. For some time I've been intrigued by the phenomenon of mummy unwrapping events, so I decided to explore the topic further for my research project, and what I found was far more complex than just strange social gatherings. It revealed a deeper story about how the Victorians misunderstood and misrepresented Egyptian culture and how that shaped their fascination with the ancient world. As I began my research, I came across numerous novels written during the Victorian era that featured Egyptian mummies. These works often depicted Egyptian culture inaccurately and were written primarily for entertainment. The problem was that much of society's understanding of Egypt came from this fiction. These stories helped reinforce mystical ideologies such as the belief that mummies were cursed or could return to life, rather than promoting historical or cultural accuracy. In many ways, Victorian interest in Egypt was rooted more in superstition and fantasy than in scholarly understanding. Their fascination was built on imagined narratives rather than respect for the actual beliefs and practices of ancient Egyptian society. For the Egyptian mummification was deeply spiritual. They mummified the body in order to preserve it and prepare the soul for its journey to the afterlife. They believed in three main souls. Each soul had its own path after death. The Ka was essentially a spiritual double that mirrored the deceased body, allowing them to continue living in the afterlife as long as the body was preserved and provided with offerings. If the body was destroyed either through erosion or unnatural causes, the spirit of the deceased would be lost. If the Ka is lost, then it means their life force is gone. The soul would be lost, unable to stay in the afterlife. The part of this project which started my curiosity were Victorian unwrapping parties. These parties first started for academic reasons, surgeons and scholars as means to better understand the inner workings of mummies. As these events continued, they started to move away from academic value and towards social spectacle. The wealthy would host parties centered around unwrapping a mummy. These unwrapping parties were not unusual for the Victorian era, as public demonstrations of science and medicine were common forms of entertainment during this time. Just as people attended surgical procedures to witness medical advancements firsthand, in reality, these events became disrespectful. The Victorians' fascination with Egypt, while partly driven by academic interest, was heavily influenced by fictional literature and colonial attitudes. This led to the modification and, frankly, the desecration of mummified remains. Though some tried to justify their actions as scientific research, many of these practices prioritized Western curiosity over cultural respect.